Hello gang, welcome to Writing Linear Equations. In part 1 we're going to be looking at identifying perpendicular and parallel lines. One thing to learn or take note of this week today is that parallel and perpendicular lines have specific slope properties. So parallel lines have the same slope, but they have a different intercept. Perpendicular lines have the opposite inverse slope. For example, if the slope was 1/2, perpendicular would be negative 2/1. The opposite and the inverse. Let's look at example A. The equations of three lines are given below. For each pair of lines, determine if they are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. In order for us to be able to solve this, we need to first make sure that they are all in slope-intercept form. To get line 2 into slope-intercept form, we just divide both sides by 5. And we see that line 2 is y equals 2/5 x plus 3 over 5. So we can easily see that for line 1 and 2, they have the same slope. So they're parallel. Let's look at line 1 and 3. In order to solve line 3, I've got to solve for y. So let's go solve for y real quick to see what it is. 10x plus 4y equals negative 6. I'm going to subtract 10x from both sides. This gives me 4y equals negative 10x minus 6. Now I can divide by 4. And I end up with y equals negative 5 halves minus negative 5 half x, minus 3 halves. So let's write that here. Y equals negative 5 halves x minus 3 halves. And now I can compare line 1 and line 3. My slope is negative 5 halves, which is the opposite inverse, which means that it's perpendicular. And for lines 2 and 3, my slope is 2/5 here and negative 5 halves here, which means that these lines are also perpendicular. Now you can have neither, just in this scenario we don't. Let's look at the next example again. Part B, line 1 is 3/4 x minus 8, so we need to go figure out line 2. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides, 8x, This is going to yield 6y equals negative 8x plus 8. Then I need to divide everything by 6. I'm going to end up with y equals negative 4/3 x plus 4/3. For line 3, if I divide everything by 4, I get y equals 3/4 x plus 7 over 4. Now I can compare my perpendicular and parallel properties. For line 1 and line 2, 3/4 and 4/3 are the opposite inverse. so they're perpendicular. From line 1 and line 3, they're the same. Should have an X, excuse me. Line 1 and line 3 have the same slope, so they're parallel. And line 2 and line 3, -4/3 and 3/4 are opposite inverse again, so they're perpendicular. So remember, gang, to follow your parallel and perpendicular properties for slope. Parallel is the same slope, perpendicular is the opposite inverse slope. Good luck.